Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and today I would like you to consider the following. In the words of the famous Bill Nye, I would like you to indeed consider the following, because today I want to talk about the existence of the PTU, the Public Test Universe. This was something that was released going 5 or 6 months back now, I believe, by CIG as like another middle ground between what is already alpha builds of their game, you know? Like when they first launched Arena Commander, we didn't have the PTU. You just knew that you were getting a broken product, most likely, that was going to be filled with bugs, and there was a chance it wasn't going to work all the time, because that is the point of how Star Citizen is being developed. I personally have always thought that the PTU was a silly, silly thing, and that CIG released the PTU purely to make whiners happy. The people who were upset that Arena Commander launched and it was broken and they weren't able to play things. That's sort of the point of this kind of development. For them to have a middle ground, another like wall to break down bugs before they push it to live, just seems so redundant and ridiculous to me. And I think the main reason I was spurred on by this conversation was the news that the FPS module is going to be released once again by backer number in waves, similar to what they did with Arena Commander. But now we have the frickin' PTU in the way, so they have to push it to the PTU by backer number. So what does that mean when they go to push it to live? Do we have to have it pushed to live by backer number again? Again, twice. That just seems utterly ridiculous and utterly unnecessary, because there's a large group of people in the community, actually, they're probably not a large group, it's a vocal minority, who loves to complain on the forums about builds being broken. I'm sorry, but that's what I came to expect from this game. I didn't expect to have to go back and forth between two launchers to get my first proper hands-on with the next module that they're pushing out for the game. Now, I expected it to be, I have no problem with it being by backer number, but I expected it to simply be pushed to the game, made live, and then if it's broken, we play it, we break it, and then they fix it over the course of a week or 2 weeks or however long it takes them, and then we play it again. And that's fine. That's part of the experience of Star Citizen that I've become very, very used to. Having that PTU to me just seems like an extra step. Now, if someone from CIG sees this video and they can tell me that the PTU has benefited their team's development, then I'll shut up about it. I'll be completely fine with it, and I'll say, okay, that's all I wanted to hear. Is it actually helping them, though? That's a question that I would like to know the answer to. Or has it merely been put in place, once again, to please those who complained about broken builds being pushed to live, as I'm going to continue to call it? So I guess we can kind of spawn this conversation into another thing, because I can only complain about the existence of the PTU so often. I really just wanted to, have a brief discussion about it and see what everybody thought of the PTU. I know a lot of people that I personally know from Praxis, they could care less about the PTU. They don't even go into it. I personally go into the PTU because as a content creator, as someone who makes videos on YouTube, getting that, extra 1 or 2 week jump on a piece of content that I can cover on the channel is obviously great for exposure. There's just no lie about that. It's the reason that I played the fight tutorial with some of its foibles and foibles when it was in the PTU. And there's a few people who covered footage of the Retaliator because it was in the PTU first. But does that mean that the PTU is necessary and that it's beneficial? I personally don't see the benefit. But once again, if it is helping CIG, if they've said something like this before and I've missed it, then that's fine and dandy. But that's my thoughts on the PTU. Now, speaking of the PTU and the fact that the FPS module is going to release into the PTU first, man, how many times have I said PTU in this video? Probably a lot. How many people are actually gonna get a PTU account? You're gonna go to the website, you're gonna get your key, and you're gonna log into the PTU, and you're gonna let your launcher sit in PTU in the public test universe until the FPS module goes live, whenever the hell that is. I mean, really, let me know. I want to hear how many of you never used the PTU, but are definitely going to, simply to gain, your first access to the FPS module. I mean, I think it'd be crazy not to. This is something that so many people are looking forward to, myself included, that I'd be silly if I just sat by for probably what will end up being, several weeks, if not a month, of the FPS module sitting inside of the PTU. Because there is no doubt in my mind that when it goes into the PTU, no matter how small they push in the waves of players, people are going to be breaking it. And that's probably going to delay the following wave and the next wave. I mean, I can just imagine it being a broken mess. As much as CIG, as much as Illuphonic has been saying that they've been polishing the hell out of this thing and they've been making all these huge changes and tweaks and trying to get it ready so that it's the best alpha launch possible, I feel that we as players will find ways to break it because that's what we do. And that is, again, the direct benefit for CIG and all of their other development teams to having this sort of a crowdfunded experience, this crowdfunded games that they can have 200,000 players break the game rather than 50 testers in the back of a room, Q&A testers who've been playing the game every day break the game. You're just going to have better results with those 200,000 consumers who, large majority of us for some reason, just like to find ways to break things. Whether it be for the purpose of cheating or just because we like to break things and submit bugs. There are people actually out there like that. So it's going to be interesting. But again, I think I want to go back to what I just said, which was, you know, CIG, Illophonic's words of that they wanted to make this the best possible alpha release of a game ever. That being said, and if things go nearly flawlessly, you know, hopefully we'll see it pushed out of the PTU much more rapidly. Maybe it'll only be a week or so, and I think that'd be fantastic to see the FPS module get out of the PTU, past that wall, and into live, where however the hell they're going to decide to launch that. I haven't really heard anything directly on that. It would make sense that they would once again use the backer numbers and sort of reset everything and then start re-releasing it to backers. But maybe the confidence will be there that they'll just throw it out into the wild and everything will crash and burn. And then all the people who like to whine will whine, and all of us who were looking to testing in alpha when we signed up with Star Citizen will continue to help them solve those solutions until it becomes a stable module that we can play, much like Arena Commander is today. And that's everything I have to say. I would like to thank you for considering the following, as Bill Nye would say. It's a Bill Nye driven Star Citizen discussion. And let me know everything you guys have to say regarding the PTU. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it directly benefits CIG? Do you think it was simply put there as just another wall to, you know, help clean up patches before they went to live so people would stop complaining? Or is it just, you know, maybe it just makes more sense to have people test it before people test it? Once again, you know, that's just my personal thought. And of course, let me know whether or not you will be jumping into the PTU to gain your first access to the FPS module. And if you want to let me know just how long you think you're going to be waiting, of course I'm not asking for your backer number, however there's nothing really private about that. If you want to go ahead and share your backer number with everybody down in the comment section below and see just who is going to be getting access first when it does go live, feel free. I feel like that's always a fun little game to play with one another. If you have any other questions for me regarding the subject or my thoughts on anything that I didn't answer here, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.